Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Jess Fitzpatrick, who is Senior Media Trader at Buyers and Sellers. That's the correct name, Buyers and Sellers, Jess?
Buyers and Sellers Media.
And what do you do?
I'm the Senior Media Trader at Buyers and Sellers Media. We're relatively new kids on the block in digital out of home, and I specialise in selling mass coverage out of home campaigns to brands and agencies of all sizes.
Right. Now, we first met you about a year ago, so I think that was when you started and that was when the company started. Is that correct?
Early 2020 is when we started, which is obviously a great time to start just before a global pandemic and everyone's told to stay indoors. But it's been an interesting and very, very good year, to be honest.
Brilliant. Well, you seem to have made a bit of an impact. You have been seen around the world, so you're not just a regional media agency, you're not just a UK media agency, you do lots of things globally.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think if the pandemic didn't happen, that probably wouldn't have came about as quickly as it did. So we started last year with the aim of really concentrating on UK-wide deals for clients. And then with the pandemic happening and business needs changing and people having more time to, get in touch with different media owners and look at different options and look at different campaign ideas, that's how we fell into doing the stuff in the US. And it's been fantastic ever since.
Right.
We've got
so we've seen you on. You had a fantastic campaign in New York on all the billboards.
Yeah.
With a company that I guess for the younger viewers of this, it's called Gymshark. So GYM Shark.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about Gymshark.
Okay, so Gymshark, they're from Solihull as well, from Birmingham. They're, in my opinion, the best gym wear company in the world. They're doing great things. They're actually like a unicorn company. Ben Francis has done brilliantly over the last, I think it's been 7 years. So they've grown massively, and they've never really done much out of home before. And they're from the same area as us. We know the guys there quite well, and we have an opportunity for them that we presented to them to go onto New York Times Square, like the best billboard in Times Square. And then Noel, he's the branding director there. He ran it by his social media team and said, right, we're going to do something really cool with this. What can we do that, makes this not just an advert on a billboard in Times Square?
Yeah.
Let's Gymshark it, basically.
Right.
What can we do to make it the best?
So this became a bit of a social media phenomenon. Was it Twitter and Instagram, or was it?
It was
AdTECH or TikTok or something I don't know about.
It was mainly Twitter.
Okay.
But when I say mainly Twitter, it was trending all over the world. So it wasn't just a case of it going live one day and, it trended on that day. There was a run up to it. There was a countdown clock for the advert going live. It was trending in the US, number 2 on the day. It was trending in Australia, UK, Germany, I think Japan. It just went crazy. And it was the best social media campaign that Gymshark had done.
So that's quite exciting for I won't say small because they obviously export, but for a company in Solihull,
yes,
that's a great thing. Now, what we've seen from you in the last 12 months from your company and yourself who's been driving the sales for this, is that you're bringing quite new types of companies to out of home. Yeah. So obviously we had some clothing manufacturers before, but you're working with them quite closely. You've done a lot with sports promoters, independent music artists or independent musicians as well.
Yes, music artists is definitely a big category for me. Being the age that I am and the type of person that I am, prior to COVID, I'd be at every event possible. My circles are the sort of people that run the events, do the DJing and all that kind of thing. So these sort of people never really thought out of home would be the kind of thing for them. And I'm introducing them to it now, and they're going, wow, this is great. This is acceptable.
Well, that's fantastic. That's one of the things we haven't seen in the UK very often is new brands necessarily coming into the space. So it's good that you're doing that. How do you actually go about selling it in this way then? Is there a long-term commitment from them for you, or are these one-off type deals?
No, mixture of both. I have clients that want to book for a year, that want all year round branding,
Right.
that want to be everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And then I have people that say, I want to literally light up a city for one day only for a release of a single. So there's no job that's too big or too small. Every customer is completely different, and I think that's the beauty of my role, to be honest. And digital out of home is, we can switch everything on all year round. We can put it on as and when you need to, and that's what I like, the flexibility and the different clients that come.
How do you, so the digital billboards that you put your clients on, how do you find them, or how do you have deals with them?
We speak to multiple media owners, so your top leading ones, everyone knows the name, to the small media owners that might have one site, 5 sites. They could have digital 48s, they could have a selection of D6s, whatever it might be. We'll speak to them, and then we'll speak to the client, understand their needs, and say, look, this is what we want to put together for you, and this is what we think will be really good.
So you're striking the deals directly with the billboard owners.
That's it, yeah.
Good. Well, obviously things are in your favor there, because we're getting more and more digital billboards coming on board. More and more media owners need brands, and it seems like you've got an endless supply of new brands to come on board, which is great. Yeah,
I'm going for new markets that have probably been a bit untouched, really, and also I'm going for people that want great value and want someone that can understand what they want from a campaign, and knows how to get it, really.
Right. How does this work with things like programmatic buying and AdTECH? Are you touching upon those at the moment, or are you planning to in the future?
To be honest, our main focus at the moment hasn't been that, because our customers haven't demanded it. So that although they're not demanding it now, it's not to say that they wouldn't in the future, and it's not something that I would completely rule out at all. In my opinion, and I call us out old-fashioned, but I believe we're actually doing the job how it's traditionally been done, and being frank, how it's still being done by the majority of media buyers. But for the brands that we work with, large and small in most cases, programmatic just isn't on their agenda, not right now.
Right. So one of the things that the industry is trying to do, and we're trying to do with our events in the AdTech space, is trying to bring brands up to speed with programmatic so they understand what they could do.
Yeah.
We think that there's not necessarily a need for them to always go through an advertising agency, a media specialist, a media buyer, when they can sort of do it direct. You could log into a marketplace. In many ways, you're helping us along with that, because you're introducing those new brands and saying, look, you can do it through me. But there's no reason why you couldn't be logged into a marketplace, and once you convince them of the need, or not, once you convince them of the benefits of advertising on the billboard, there's no reason why you couldn't transact that via a keyboard. Am I correct?
Completely. I'm bringing people to digital out of home before programmatic. So I'm bringing them into the market space. I'm showing them how good digital out of home is. Mm-hmm. And like you say, it's not that they're demanding it now, because they still don't know what it is.
Right.
It could be something that they'll grow into. But I do believe I'm bringing people that into the marketplace to begin with, to show them how good out of home can be.
Yeah, no, I think you are, Jess. I think that's fantastic. I think many brands probably walk around, whether it be Times Square or Piccadilly Circus, and think, how on earth do I get my adverts on these billboards? Yeah. Nobody in our industry really tells them how they can get those adverts onto those billboards. So what you're doing is great. I think that's really, really good. Okay, Jess, that's very good. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the AdTech conference. So Jess will be there May the 20th, I think it is, in the afternoon at Samsung King's Cross. So Jess, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you soon.